So, you can hear me now. Is it possible to dim the lights a bit so I can see the screens better? If not, it's okay. Anyway, a success story from IKEA. I'm going to tell you what is possible in a smaller company in a tiny little country. I am a geologist, but I've been in management my whole life. Started with a small company. And over the last 6 years or so, I've been specializing in gender equality geology. It's quite exciting, if you've ever heard of that. Anyway, this is the company very quickly. We are 108 years old. We have the water services, electricity, distribution and production, hot water, district heating, all geothermal, sewage, fiber optics, 1 gigabit to every home. We serve 2/3 of Iceland. So we are a big company on the local market, but internationally we are tiny. This is the group. It's a group of companies. I'm the CEO of the group, and we've turned it upside down as you see, because the mother company is serving the young ones. We are also guiding them and directing them. But the young ones, the daughter companies, are bringing us all the revenue. So we have the utilities to the left, we have the power producer, and then we have the fiber optics network. Today we are about 500 people. Just a little about energy in Iceland. You see it has grown immensely and very quickly. And if this is the same picture, but on a 100% scale, back in 1940 we were 14% renewable. Today we are 86% renewable, and that is mostly geothermal. There's very little left: car traffic, ocean traffic, and airplanes. Gender inequality, the global picture in the power and utility sector. Power and utilities are very, very male-dominated by tradition, and I don't like it. This is the global picture, the 200 largest global power and utilities. On the boards they have 16% women, this is today, and in the senior management they are 14%. In Europe they are 12%, the one with blue circle. 23% women on the boards, 12% in the management. So, in 2011, shortly after I came in, we decided 2 things, among many, many other things. The company then was in very bad operational and financial shape, extremely. It was almost bankrupt. This was after the banking crisis in Iceland, and I came in to get the company back on the trail. After a short look, we saw that the crisis gave us an enormous opportunity. And this is often the case. If you have crisis, you can do things much faster. You have all the employees motivated, and you have to do changes. You have to reshuffle in management and so forth. Over 2 years period of time, we had to take the number of employees down by 200, from 600 to 400. And we decided to get this company out in a much, much better shape, not only financially. So 2 of the decisions we took was to balance genders in the management and eliminate the gender pay gap. And I'll show you how this has gone. First, we take women in management. You see that in 2009, there were about 20% women in management. But then women were 30% of the total workforce. We have gradually increased the number, and this is the total management and all levels in the company. Now we are up to 51%, and yesterday I learned that women are 51% of the human race. So we are right on the spot. And we can say that 6-7 years ago women were underrepresented in management, if we could use that word, and they are overrepresented, which is not the right term, of course. So, the gender pay gap, which is big in many countries, relatively low in Iceland, 10 to 20% in general, we promised ourselves to eliminate it as quickly as we could. But when we started on it, we saw that we had very limited information. And the figures we had were always outdated. We sent in our payroll and other information to a university to analyze it, and we got the results back half a year later. And we said to ourselves, this cannot be the 21st century. We have modeling capabilities in all areas of the business, and there's no model existing to find out what gender pay gap we have today. We have to go 5-6 months back. There was no such tool existing on the market. So what we did, we entered into cooperation with Pay Analytics. It's only a two-man company, one woman, Icelandic PhD woman running this company. And we together developed this tool. And as I said, it was quite unbelievable, and I may be wrong, but at that time, no such tool existed. So we were just in the dark. We now have it. And now we have, first of all, we can look at the situation today, the payroll, and we can develop a plan, what to do. We can see on the lowest diagram, we can see what will it cost to get from 1.1% pay gap in favor of men, as an example in this case, and down to 0, what will it cost annually for the company? And the tool also suggests who are the persons and in what jobs that we want to work with or change the wages. And we can follow every day what is the situation. And so, if you need this to be able to predict exactly, first of all, to know where are you, and secondly, what do I need to do to change it? Then you have no excuses any longer. Well, I think it is 5%, 10%. If I do that or this, it's going to take a long time. I don't know what effect it's going to have. So now we will give you the tool. No more excuses. We are down to 1.1% from 8.4%, and we have promised ourselves to go down to 0 before the end of the year. Corporate culture. Corporate culture, just like Sari Brody said, is at the heart of everything we do. Gender equality is a multiple task, really a multiple task, not only head count. It is not enough to recruit women in STEM jobs. STEM jobs are science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Because research show that if women having this education come into a male-dominated company, they will leave. After 10 years, and this is the truth, twice as many women will have left their jobs as men. And the reason is isolation, hostile male-dominated work environments, ineffective executive feedback, lack of effective sponsors in the workplace. These are 4 top reasons that they leave. So it's not enough to hire, you have to keep them. What we did many things in this respect, and it's all been quite exciting and very interesting. So this is our company, 108 years male-dominated company. Do we really have the right glasses to understand how this company works? And we did not. So we hired a gender scientist to analyze our corporate culture. And she was not very soft on us, I can promise you. She came up with a report, and there was a multitude of things that we had not realized ourselves, neither myself as a man nor the women in the company. And we've been working on these observations and many of the items. So first of all, the physical and visual environment. So we have softened it by colors, paintings, plants, and so forth. We've taken down in every workshop where the welders are and the electricians and so forth, all, what do you call it, calendars. Have you seen a calendar in a workshop of a mechanic? So we have, this is one of the things. We have had courses on gender equality for every employee, and we have mentors for new employees trained in gender equality approach. We have established gender equality committees. We used to have it in the mother company, now we have in each subsidiary as well, independent committees that are working on the issues of their own little subsidiary. And we made an action plan to follow up on the committee's recommendations. And we have looked into gender-adopted recruitment process, very important, extremely important, because we are very biased. So we have men and women in all recruitments. We have looked at the advertisements, how are the wordings, strong, intelligent, the word female is only lacking, determined, and now we have differently worded advertisements. Gender-based statistical analysis for the company. So everything you can analyze from the perspective of genders is important. There are so many things. And the bias is, as an example, if you go into a company and in the management you have 20% women and 80% men, women and men will say, yeah, we have both genders. It's a bit equal in management. This is gender blindness. So we hired a specialist within the company after the gender scientist left, and she is now working with, has been working with the equality committees. We have, as I said, worked on the arts. We made our own several videos, many videos, 3, 4, 5 now. We've made them ourselves, our own employees, and they've done all parts of them to educate people on sexual harassment, gender pay gap, work and family life balance, and mutual respect. How do we work together? We have revised the working hours, shortened the long shifts for men, so they go and can go and pick up children from the kindergarten and so forth. Very well received. Then, because we have evened out the gender balance in the management, we've been looking very much into other parts of the company. And there's one big problem in power companies, as you know, that we do not have the trades represented by women. You don't have electricians and plumbers and welders. They do not exist, or very little. So we decided to do what we could do to wake an interest for young people and young girls particularly. And so I'm almost finished. Am I getting 15 minutes or just what was left of the hour? You can finish your presentation. Is that 15 minutes? Okay. Or 1 minute. I'm trying to get this work. It's only 1 minute. not quite finished. Sorry. Yeah, at the end, it's a question of corporate culture, and the management is responsible for the corporate culture. It does not come from the bottom up. These are the boards, the mother company, 4 women out of 6, and so a minimum 40% in all. And this is the job satisfaction. We have done this, both the financial difficulties we have overcome, and you see the rise in job satisfaction, and we are now at the top of the range. The black one is the general labor market. So we have a much better company. We got awards, and finally, my personal experience. What have I learned? Some of these are facts, others are just feelings. And inside the company, we have more open discussion, more diverse background and points of view. Decisions are taken based on facts, open discussions, and feelings. And feelings are facts, actually. The first thing male-dominated companies say, you have to have figures. But in our real life, feelings are facts. Decisions are taken at the table. There's no hidden agenda. We have more productive work, higher job satisfaction, better decision, no doubt in my mind, no doubt. Better morale, less workplace bullying. We do a survey, employee survey, every year, very detailed. So these are facts, figures. And less risk for sexual harassment. It's almost gone, almost gone. If you have a equal or gender balance at the table, 3 girls and 3 men, and someone attempts to go into the gray zone in attitude or jokes or whatever, it just drops that. I call it the self-cleaning mechanism for sexual harassment. More fun at work, mixed workplaces are better workplaces. Other observations, we can change the energy sector and we can do it rather quickly, in only 5 years. Male dominance is not a law of nature. We receive higher number of highly qualified applications, better image. Gender equality is a question of human rights, very much so. We are all born equal and we should have equal rights. It is a duty of the executive management to execute gender equality. This is maybe the core of what I'm saying. If you should squeeze anyone, you should squeeze guys like me, 60 years, round belly, thin hair. We are occupying 90% of the chairs of the CEOs of all companies. And if they are not for, and if they don't really support equality, it won't happen. So, if you have women on the board, let the women squeeze the CEO and let them deliver. Because he is supposed to deliver on money, projects, environment, but typically not on equal rights. So why don't you just put up a plan, board members, and you hold the CEO accountable for evening out or working, following certain plan decided by the board, and the board shall follow up. You have to deliver on gender equality like on everything else. And then very, very finally, will and determination is all you need, and a few pictures run very quickly of the boards of the main power companies in the world. Take a look.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bjarnason. Thank you. Very good. Thank you so much.